Well, it's good, Raji. Good morning, and the rest. Good morning, guys. Hope you guys had a great day. So basically, what's evident here on SPX on the daily, right? We are in this big, huge. Let me just take the gamma levels away for a minute so we can see it clearly. We gotta go back here. We gotta go back here all the way in April 2021, right? At this level near 4100, 4200, we saw that there was a lot of consolidation here, right? Like a consolidation, some pullbacks and whatnot, and we're in the same zone right now. And back in May, we really didn't consolidate much here. We dipped and we came right back up in June, right? And then we were consolidating here for a few days, trying to look for direction, and then boom, the market sold off. We held it, we came back slowly with all these dips and rips, and now we're back in the same zone. The question is, where do we go from here? Can we go up or down from here, right? Basically, there from the dealer side, he's kind of neutral here. There's not much going on. If you guys read the spot gamma today is pretty good to read, I think, right? I did mention in the morning as well. And let's see where we go from here. The only thing we have right now here is a reasonable dip to 40.50, and then even under 4100 is pretty thin there. It can actually go touch 40,000 fast. All we need is just one trend day and it'll be down 80-90 points, and then we see at 4,000 what happens. Above 4,000 it remains healthy, right? Or I was even 40.50, 4,000. 40.50 is what I'm looking at. 4,000, things might get a little iffy, right? Tomorrow, if we do get to 4,000 today, and with the new drama that's going on right now, is all about Nancy. There's some news circulating, and if she does go to Taiwan, if she ends up going to Taiwan, there will be some risk off in the markets. All right, the market might sell off a little bit, and then we see what happens after. And if nothing happens, she comes safe. It's just a one-day thing. Tomorrow, the market can react positively on it, right? So. Let's see what the market says. But for me, it's all noise. All I'm looking at that this will just be an excuse, and market or react comes back towards 40.50, 4,000 for a retest if we hold it, and then we see if I want to get long or not, right? Just for a short period of time, because comes September, October, my bias is to the downside, right? But that's just my own bias. I could be wrong. But for the month of August, we might just linger around here and see what happens, right? And another thing I want you guys to keep an eye on is earnings for next quarter, not for this, right? You guys need to look at some stats from Goldman Sachs, JPM. I try to post some in the group as well. And then obviously you gotta do your own research. I was reading a lot last night. I slept really late, so I kept reading. Earnings are most likely going to take a hit. They're most likely going to take a hit in the next quarter, so that's still 3 months out, right? Basically, the market into 2023 might not look as great, but at the same time, how does the Fed position themselves from here, right? If we get the actual pivot, then the market will probably rip this year, the markets, and we'll be at all-time highs again. All right, but for the monthly, for now, we came down a lot. We're consolidating. We're back to 4,100. This is a huge bear market rally. A lot of short covering still has to happen. There's still a lot of short interest out there, and if these guys come and buy in, if Fed provides something, then the market will see an extended rally to the upside also, right? So we see what happens, and apart from that, 4,000 is the main level, right? Above 4,000, Gurvinder, if you're watching, we do have a positive gamma buildup. Obviously, it remains positive. Under 4,000 is when we shift to negative, all right? And the call wall is also all the way towards 4,200. Okay, call wall is also all the way towards 4,200, meaning there are people who are buying towards 4,200 thinking there will be upside. There's demand. One last thing I will tell you guys, market is under hedged, and when market is under hedged, that's when usually big downsides happen. I'm not saying downside is going to happen. This is just simple information I'm giving you guys. You guys do what you guys want to do with it. But when market is under hedged, that's exactly when big downsides happen. At the same time, when market is under hedged, the big money, they're not expecting the market to drop too much. All right, they're not expecting it to drop too much. They believe the market holds and we go higher, or something, whatever happens. Right now, they feel they don't need any hedging requirements. All right, and then CPI, I believe, is August 8th or 10th. So CPI will be the most important. Why? Because Fed is data dependent. All right. I hope I spelled this right. E or A, undependent, I think, or A. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Maybe I spelled it wrong. They're data dependent, right? And then we'll see what happens from there. Tesla, one thing I want to note here, a nice little reversal candle to the downside, down nicely pre-market. Yash, great job on your puts. Yesterday on Tesla, if I go on the hourly chart, let's go on the hourly chart, where is it? Right here. On this hourly chart, there was a lot of flow, like at these levels above 920, 930, when Tesla was trading here, there was a lot of call flow. Like this is big call flow. I'm talking about 500,000, 1 million into $1,000 calls, 1,100 calls, 950. Now the reason for that's obviously big money. I don't know if it was some degens playing it or was it the hedging activity. Basically, someone could be short huge $1 million Tesla shares, and then they buy some protection with 100, 200K just to protect themselves in case Tesla keeps ripping. So that could be another reason for all the huge flow that was coming in, and then Tesla never looked to the upside from that. But what's building up here is something called gamma exposure. All right, so like last Friday, there's a good chance we repeat again. All right, I'm giving you guys this 4 days ahead, but we'll see how this is. By Friday, I'll look at the options OI. I'll confirm it if I see it. But this might set up just like last Friday. So okay, let's see what happens on Friday. By then, NC news will be over. Well, I hope it'll be over, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so gamma exposure is building up, and then we'll see what happens all the way here, right? GLD, I should have taken this my own trade. You know, I was right spot on here on the reversal candle on the daily when it happened. Right on the same day, I did post a chart in our chat as well. Right, we caught this bottom. I did not buy in. I you know, just because of my other positionings. Because I like having certain amount of cash in my account, and I was just trying to manage. But this was a good play. I think I should have bought it. Right, maybe I was being a little too conservative there. All right, sometimes you have to take risks, and I kind of backed off, which is fine. Sometimes you know, I'm human at the end of the day, I guess. You know, psychology it takes effects on me as well. But gold was a great move, and if we go on the weekly now, this is where I would probably take some profits. Right, we are here in the supply and demand zone. This is a big chunk. This is usually support and resistance. So now I would take profits if anybody did play gold by any chance, right? And then above this hold, then we'll see what happens. Bonds, TLT, absolutely ripping, right? So here we are, TLT, a nice little base, and now we're just seeing little gap ups every day. But along with this, what you want to watch is the rates. US 10-year. If the 10-year stalls here and we bottom here, not bottom, but a little rip comes towards 2.83, it might give us a chance to go long TLT again, because eventually more money will come into bonds. Right, I think they might take this up here now. Once this out of this base, there should be an explosive move all the way towards this zone right here, which is 128, 127, right? So right now we are near the resistance of 121, but if it rips again today, then a trade that I'll probably miss. But if it gives us a rip and basis and gives us a little back test on a nice little uptrend, I'll probably go long TLT into next year maybe. Right, and dollar, also keep an eye out on dollar. This is the blue line is the 50 MA. We're right at the 50 MA, and if we zoom out right here, is nothing but just a nice little dip on an uptrend. But if we fail this zone, not only the 50 MA, we have this right here. If we fail this zone and we hold under, right, if dollar comes down under this 105 level and we go down, if this happens, keep an eye on SC. This chart is very tight, and I think it rips if dollar comes down. But if dollar reverses from here, goes up, then obviously that's negative for the entire S&P mostly. All right. And then SE, as you can see, is very tight here. It's very tight. But for so far with the dollar weakness, it hasn't gone up, so which is not good. But it's just holding very, very tight in this range. And this is one name that can make a $10, $15 move to the upside or downside. Either way, if the dollar comes down, SC should make a big move to the upside. If dollar comes down more towards one, if dollar reverses back up and the market is weak, this can also flush just as hard. All right. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Because of the news that are circulating, is down again. Pre-market is also in a nice little base, but if everything goes well, this is another name that I'm keeping an eye on, possibly to the upside. Even though they are buying puts on this name, short term there might be some headwinds, but if everything comes out positive in a week or two, I would keep an eye on this name. BAWA, Chinese names are weak, right? Chinese names are weak. If we go on the weekly chart, this support needs to hold. This is not a good looking chart, right? I mean, this is not a good looking chart. And if China by any chance goes much lower now and takes out new lows, if that happens, eventually it does come towards the US market as well, right? I mean, just something to think about. Meta also I'm keeping an eye on. On the daily, it made a reversal sort of. I missed my fills yesterday. It would have been a great play. I was looking at it 158, but then it just ripped. I never got my fills. But it's just trying to hold on to this support. If we hold on to this support, there's a good chance we can go test 165 again and even 170. All right, and my stop loss will be 155, right? So a $2-3 stop loss versus a $10-15 gain to the upside. So keep an eye on Meta, but if 155 fails, then obviously we have towards 130 and 140, another $10-15 to a downside. All right, so a few plays are setting up. Let's see how they go. And Thank you so much. A lot of information posted. Make sure you guys go through pre-market. Make sure you guys watch the earnings channel. LB has posted some great setups there. And let's see what happens. We're just in no man's land right now. 4100, anything can happen. And we'll see you guys back in the chat.